There is no interest in pretend basketball. I have been telling you guys for years, as the mainstream media has intentionally lied to us. These elite athletes are amazing!
Imagine this. Last year, Unrivaled opened its season to 313,000 viewers. People were buzzing. The league was hyped, and the media proclaimed women's basketball as the next big revolution. Fast forward 12 months, and the numbers tell a completely different story. This year's opening night drew only 107,000 viewers. That's not just a dip, it's a staggering 65% drop. Picture a cliff. Now picture the league tumbling over it. That's where Unrivaled stands today. What's truly shocking isn't just the numbers. It's what they reveal about the state of women's basketball. Fans are voting with their remote controls, and they've spoken. They don't want the pretend hype, they want authenticity. Caitlin Clark remains the only undeniable draw. Take away her presence, and the rest of the league struggles to even register on the radar. Not Angel Reese, not Paige Bueckers, not A'ja Wilson. None of the so-called stars can hold the stage alone. Here's where the story gets personal. Unrivaled wasn't just a league. It was supposed to be leverage for WNBA players. A platform where they could negotiate for better contracts, threaten strikes, and demand fair pay. It was supposed to be their ace in the hole. But the reality, that ace is crumbling faster than anyone could have imagined. With each failed broadcast, each weak viewership number, players lose negotiating power, and the illusion of leverage evaporates. The irony is brutal. The athletes are incredible elite, world-class talent, but the market has made its judgment. The product, the package, the platform, none of it is connecting beyond a single star. And now, after months of bold claims about strikes and demands, these players face a harsh reality. The empire they thought they were building is falling apart, and the clock is ticking. Every viewer lost, every empty seat, every failed broadcast is a spotlight on the cracks forming in real time. Think about it. What happens when your backup plan is supposed to save you, but it collapses faster than your main plan? That's exactly what's happening with WNBA players right now. Unrivaled was designed to be the safety net, the bargaining chip. If we don't get what we deserve, we have somewhere else to go, the story went. It sounded smart, it sounded bold, but in practice, it's falling apart spectacularly. Season 2 of Unrivaled opened to just 107,000 viewers on TNT. That's less than a third of last year's opening night. Let that sink in. Millions of dollars in marketing, hours of hype, yet the audience just isn't there. The players who were supposed to benefit from this Plan B are watching it collapse in real time. Every empty seat, every weak rating, chips away at their negotiating power. The leverage they thought they had, vanishing before their eyes, and the irony cuts deep. WNBA players once threatened strikes, demanded bold salary increases, and insisted they deserved generational money. Now faced with reality, many are quietly reconsidering. They're thinking about playing under the old CBA, the very deal they publicly called insulting. What changed? The market spoke, and the market is brutally honest. The numbers don't lie. Without big names like Caitlin Clark, the product simply doesn't sell. Here's the takeaway. Talent alone doesn't equal leverage. You need a platform that works, a product that connects, and a strategy that holds up under scrutiny. Unrivaled promised all of that but failed to deliver. Instead, it exposed the fragile foundation beneath the players' demands. The illusion of power evaporates quickly when reality hits, and suddenly, the boldest voices in women's basketball are left negotiating from weakness, not strength. In other words, the game isn't just on the court, it's in the boardroom. And right now, the scoreboard is telling a devastating story. Every misstep, every empty arena, every lost viewer is a warning. Your backup plan. It's in a backup, it's a cautionary tale. Let's be real. Women's basketball isn't failing because the players aren't talented. No, the talent is extraordinary. The problem? Star power. Without it, the lights don't shine, the cameras don't roll, and the audience disappears. And that's exactly what Unrivaled is learning the hard way. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star. She's the linchpin, the magnetic force pulling viewers into seats and onto screens. Remove her, and suddenly, the league's numbers collapse like a house of cards. Season 2 opened to 107,000 viewers. That's barely a blip on TNT's radar. Compare it to last year's 313,000. That isn't a decline. That's a nosedive. And it proves something crucial. Without the right players, no amount of hype, production value, or flashy marketing can save a league. Now, look at the other names: Angel Reese, Paige Bueckers, A'ja Wilson. Talented. Absolutely. Marketable. Not nearly enough. Paige Bueckers is reportedly earning $348,000, yet she draws barely 17,000 viewers. Think about that math for a second. Millions spent, yet the return is microscopic. The numbers are brutal, and they expose the uncomfortable truth. Not every player can carry an audience. Star power isn't just about skills. It's about charisma, timing, and connection with fans. Unrivaled misjudged this, and it's costing them. Here's the bigger picture. The WNBA players who once used Unrivaled as leverage now watch their bargaining power shrink with each disappointing broadcast. The illusion of alternative options has evaporated. When your supposed safety net fails spectacularly, suddenly, even the boldest demands start to look reckless. The empire they hoped would protect them is crumbling. Their negotiating hand is weaker than ever. In short, this isn't just about a league losing viewers. It's about a system built on illusions, collapsing under the weight of reality. The lesson: in professional sports, talent matters, but star power matters more. Without it, everything else falls apart. Imagine being sold a dream only to realize it's built on smoke and mirrors. That's exactly what's happening with Unrivaled. For months, mainstream media painted it as the future of women's basketball, a league where stars thrived. Paychecks soared and fans flocked. The reality? Brutally different. The numbers don't lie. Opening night dropped from 313,000 viewers to 107,000? That's not a hiccup. That's a full-blown collapse. A public proof that the audience simply isn't buying what they're selling. Here's the thing. Unrivaled was supposed to be a safety net, negotiating tool for WNBA players. It was pitched as the place where athletes could leverage their value, demand better contracts, and have a legitimate alternative if the WNBA negotiations stalled. But when your backup plan tanks spectacularly, your leverage evaporates. The league that was supposed to empower the players is now undermining them. Every failed broadcast, every empty seat, every disengaged viewer chips away at the credibility these athletes thought they could wield. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's a signal. The market is speaking. Fans don't want pretend basketball. They want real games, stars they recognize, and moments they care about. When the alternative fails to deliver, the supposed power shifts. Suddenly, the players' demands start to look reckless, even entitled. The narrative of growth, excitement, and a new era? Gone. Replaced by a cold reality. Unrivaled isn't a stepping stone. It's a cautionary tale. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a business problem. It's personal for the athletes. Their bargaining chips are losing value in real time. Their revolution looks more like a slow-motion collapse. In professional sports, reality is relentless, and the market doesn't care about intentions or principles. Only results matter. And right now, the results are devastating. Think about standing at the edge of a cliff, convinced you can leap to safety, only to realize the net below is frayed and sinking. That's where WNBA players find themselves right now. For months, they marched confidently, demanding more threatening strikes, declaring they would never settle for less. Yet with Unrivaled's spectacular decline, that confidence is evaporating faster than anyone expected. The threat of walking away no longer carries weight because the backup plan is failing in real time. The irony is brutal. Players who once held the perception of power now face a reality check. The numbers on the screen, the dwindling viewers, the empty seats all scream one message. The leverage they believed they had was never as strong as they thought. Every broadcast of Unrivaled's low ratings chips away at their negotiating power, and with each passing day, their once bold demands start to look less like strategy and more like miscalculation. It's a painful, almost poetic reversal. The same players who once called for 30% of gross revenue are now contemplating accepting the old, lesser contracts they publicly derided just weeks ago. Pride, principles, and public posturing collide with reality. When the market speaks, it doesn't negotiate, dictates. And right now, it's telling them their bargaining position is fragile, fleeting, and dependent on a league that's losing its grip on relevance. This isn't just business, it's personal. Every player who publicly threatened to strike now feels the weight of their own rhetoric. The confidence of yesterday is replaced by the pressure of today. And as they stare down the consequences, the lesson is clear. In sports, perception is fleeting, but results are permanent. You can demand the world, but if the market refuses to respond, your demands vanish into thin air. The question hanging over every player, every executive, every fan: can the illusion of power be restored? Or is this the moment where reality brutally catches up? Imagine building a dream castle out of sand, only to watch the tide roll in and wash it away. That's exactly what happened with Unrivaled in Season 2. The excitement, the promises, the glossy headlines, they all counted for nothing once the numbers hit the scoreboard. Opening night drew 107,000 viewers on TNT. Let that sink in. Just a year ago, the same night pulled in 313,000. That's not a minor setback. That's a nosedive straight off a cliff. And no amount of marketing spin can cover up a drop like that. Here's the harsh truth. When Caitlin Clark isn't on the court, nobody is watching. Not Angel Reese, not Paige Bueckers, not A'ja Wilson. All the names hyped in press releases and social media posts couldn't hold an audience together. Unrivaled spent millions of dollars promoting its stars, but the returns were laughably low. $348,000 for Bueckers to deliver 17,000 viewers. Do the math. That's a disaster disguised as investment. The media told us women's basketball was exploding. They promised a revolution. They claimed these elite athletes deserved attention and audiences would follow. The audience spoke and it wasn't even close. The reality. The market rejected the illusion. Fans weren't interested in 3-on-3 basketball or overproduced hype. They wanted the real thing, the 5-on-5. Full court game that defines elite competition. And while Unrivaled struggles to stay relevant, WNBA players are feeling the consequences. Their supposed leverage in Unrivaled as a bargaining tool is evaporating before their eyes. The threat of walking away no longer inspires fear. It now exposes vulnerability. Every poor rating, every empty seat, every failed broadcast chips away at their negotiating power. The lesson is brutal. In sports, hype can't replace substance. And the market always tells the truth. Unrivaled's collapse isn't just a failure for the league. It's a wake-up call for players, investors, and fans alike. The castle of dreams they built on promises, stars, and media buzz is crumbling, and nobody gets a second chance at a first impression. Picture this: months of tough talk. Threats of strikes, dramatic promises that WNBA players would stand their ground for massive salaries. Headlines screamed about courage, about fighting for respect, about demanding the big money they deserved. But the reality. The illusion of leverage crumbled faster than anyone could imagine. Unrivaled, meant to be their bargaining lifeline, is imploding before their eyes. The ratings aren't just low, they're devastating. 107,000 viewers on TNT isn't just a number. It's a mirror reflecting the hard truth. No one outside the hype bubble cares. The irony is almost cruel. Players once positioned as unshakable forces in negotiations are now scrambling to play under the old CBA they previously called insulting. The bravado, the statements of solidarity, the media narratives, they all vanish when the foundation under your feet shakes. Investors question their commitment. Sponsors reconsider their support. And suddenly, the power these athletes thought they wielded evaporates. The very league meant to empower them, to act as an alternative path, is failing catastrophically. This isn't just about money. It's about credibility, reputation, and control. The WNBA players' bargaining chips have lost their edge because the market, the ultimate truth teller, has spoken. The audience didn't show up. The excitement didn't translate into ratings. And the alternative league they pinned their hopes on is proving incapable of sustaining the attention, the hype, and the dollars needed in the world of professional sports. Leverage isn't declared, it's earned. You can scream, post, and threaten all you want. But when the numbers tell a different story, your voice fades into irrelevance. The WNBA players wanted power. They wanted a safety net in Unrivaled. But Unrivaled itself is collapsing, taking their supposed leverage down with it. The lesson is stark. The market doesn't lie. The consequences of misreading it are brutal. Think about it. Investors poured millions into Unrivaled with promises of an off-season revolution. Elite athletes, co-founders with credibility, high production value, short seasons, six-figure paydays. It all looked like a masterstroke. But all it took was one missing star, one absent household name, and the whole facade collapsed. Caitlin Clark's absence isn't just noticeable, it's catastrophic. Without her, the league's audience plummeted 65%. Without star power, Unrivaled isn't a viable alternative. It's a cautionary tale. The WNBA's predicament is clear. Their bargaining strategy relied on the illusion of a backup plan. Walk into negotiations with the threat of Unrivaled catching you if you fall, right? Except the safety net is full of holes. Each flop, each embarrassing broadcast, each empty seat weakens their position. They are no longer standing strong. They are clinging to an idea that's rapidly fading. What's happening here is more than ratings. It's market feedback in its rawest, most merciless form. The narrative of women's basketball growth, the promise of rising stars, the supposed demand, it's all a mirage. Investors, executives, and players are learning the same lesson. Popularity is earned. Loyalty is fragile, and illusions have consequences. Paige Bueckers is a perfect example. Paid hundreds of thousands, yet the audience barely registers. The truth is unavoidable. The market is unforgiving. The WNBA players' dreams of using Unrivaled as leverage are being crushed in real time. Fans vote with their attention. The network votes with ratings. And the financial reality leaves no room for miscalculation. The era of pretending that alternative leagues create power is over. The cold, hard fact remains. You're only as strong as your audience believes you are. And right now, Unrivaled is proof that belief can vanish overnight. Here's the final, brutal truth. The WNBA survives, not because of hype, not because of social media clout, and certainly not because of alternative leagues. It survives because it has the NBA's backing. Billionaire owners have been patient for decades, subsidizing a league that, in financial terms, is almost entirely a charitable endeavor. But patience has limits, and Unrivaled's failures, alongside the faltering bargaining strategy, are testing that patience to its breaking point. Players wanted a revolution, a shot at generational wealth, a chance to demand the impossible. Yet the market has made its judgment. Opening night ratings, lack of audience engagement, and the absence of star players have shown the brutal reality. Women's basketball as a commercial product has a ceiling. The illusion of growth has been stripped away. What remains is the cold calculation of survival. For the players, the choice is stark. Accept the old CBA and continue to play in a subsidized, structured system, or push for more risk alienation and face the consequences of a collapsing backup plan. The consequences aren't theoretical, they are immediate and visible. Unrivaled may fold. Investors may pull out. Media narratives may shift, and the league may revert to irrelevance. The story of Unrivaled and the WNBA's current crisis isn't just about basketball, it's a lesson in humility, market forces, and the dangers of overestimating leverage. Caitlin Clark proved irreplaceable. Alternative leagues failed, and players who thought they could dictate terms are learning the hard truth. in professional sports. Survival trumps ambition, and the market does not negotiate as the dust settles. The message is clear. The WNBA endures because it has survived before. Unrivaled endures as a cautionary tale. And the players, they are learning painfully that their worth isn't measured by promises, posts, or perceived leverage. It's measured by results, reliability, and the audience's attention. In the end, reality always wins.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.